What is being discussed?
Yeah, Tom, and this is a meeting all about oil and potentially that embargo. But I should note it is a light embargo. Two important things here. One is, of course, the Germans have now dropped their veto to this as long as they get a gradual phase out. They talk about a transition period so the German industry can adjust, but they would now in favor or in principle be in favor to this light embargo. As I say, the other important thing, by the way, Robert Habeck, the vice chancellor, but also economy and climate minister, will be attending this meeting. Remember, on Friday, he tested to a quick test positive to coronavirus, but yesterday PCR came back negative, so he will be attending this meeting. And yesterday, his ministry put out a very interesting set of data suggesting that this could happen quicker than expected because, in fact, Germany is already cutting and majorly reducing their energy dependence on Russia. Now, Tom, just to give you a few numbers here, the Germans say that gas imports from Russia have declined from 55% to now 35% since the war, and oil, which is a big issue at hand today, it's dropped from 35% to just now 12%. So if you do the maths, you see that oil for the Germans potentially from now until the end of the year, it is doable.
It is doable. It's starting to happen already, as you point out, with those stats. In terms of the division that Vladimir Putin is trying to go for with this decision around cutting off gas to Poland and Bulgaria, and then, of course, that support traditionally that they've had for the countries like Hungary, that is starting to play out now, that division. We're starting to see that.
Yeah, and it's a big problem for the European Union. Remember, Tom, until now, there has been unanimity throughout this war. And, of course, for any sanctions to be approved, they need to be approved unanimously by the EU 27. We talk a lot about Germany. This is the biggest economy, of course, a lot of political high caliber here. But it's not the only country here. When you look at Hungary today, we had a message, perhaps a warning from Viktor Orban's spokesman, who says, we have not dropped our veto to this energy embargo. We do not see how this would put an end to the war, and it would be very detrimental to our economy. Once again, repeating also that the country is potentially in favor even of paying in rubles. So you can see why today this could get very, very tricky. I would just note, however, and this is always interesting when you look at Viktor Orban, is that you have to make a difference between what he says publicly, the bravado that comes with him, and then what he does behind the scenes. And the reality is, until now, he's voted in favor of every sanctions package from the EU to Russia. So we'll have to wait and see whether this time around he may be the odd one out or not. He actually plays ball like he's been doing for months now.